Did you know that insomnia not only steals your sleep, but could also be sabotaging your mental health in ways you never imagined? In this video, we're going to explore the hidden impacts of insomnia on the mind, uncovering how lack of sleep affects everything from your memory and concentration to your emotional well-being. By watching this video, you'll discover effective strategies to combat insomnia and safeguard your mental health. We'll provide practical tips, backed by scientific evidence, that you can start implementing today to improve your sleep nights and consequently your quality of life. If you've been struggling to sleep well or constantly feel tired and anxious, this video is especially for you. Have you ever found yourself staring at the ceiling at night, wondering if you'll ever have a good night's sleep again? Or perhaps, do you feel more irritable or overwhelmed during the day? If these situations sound familiar, keep watching because the solutions we're going to share can transform your nights and restore your peace of mind. Let's dive together into the mysteries of insomnia and its hidden influence on our mental health. Sign up now for exclusive content on mental health and sleep. Click to join our community. Insomnia isn't just a difficulty with falling or staying asleep. It's a window into a range of more serious psychological issues. Often, the lack of quality sleep is the first step toward developing disorders like anxiety and depression. This is because sleep is crucial for emotional and cognitive regulation. When deprived of sleep, our brains struggle to properly process emotions, which can lead to a constant state of tension and worry. Additionally, lack of sleep impairs the body's ability to manage stress, increasing levels of stress-related hormones like cortisol. The relationship between insomnia and anxiety is particularly intimate. Insomnia can be both a precursor and a symptom of anxiety. The fear of not being able to sleep can become a persistent concern that, in turn, prevents the onset of sleep, creating a vicious cycle that's hard to break. For individuals predisposed to anxiety, lack of sleep can exacerbate it, turning minor daytime worries into overwhelming nighttime anxieties. This can turn the bedroom, a place meant for rest and relaxation, into a space of stress and anxiety. Regarding depression, sleep deprivation negatively affects brain chemistry and hormonal balance, potentially worsening or even triggering depressive episodes. Studies show that people with insomnia are 10 times more likely to develop depression compared to those who sleep well. Chronic insomnia can lead to feelings of hopelessness and personal devaluation, aspects often associated with depression. The inability to sleep well can make a person feel like they've lost control over a fundamental aspect of life, contributing to a depressive state. In addition to anxiety and depression, insomnia can be a gateway to other psychological disorders, such as post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, and eating disorders. Lack of sleep can intensify the experience of trauma and affect how the body and mind respond to stress. Eating disorders often have roots in anxieties and depressions that can be exacerbated by a lack of adequate rest. The disrupted sleep cycle affects metabolism and hormones that regulate appetite, which can trigger or worsen disordered eating practices. Therefore, insomnia should not only be seen as an isolated sleep disorder, but as an important indicator of mental health. Recognizing and treating insomnia can be crucial in preventing the development or worsening of more complex mental disorders. It's essential to seek interventions that promote sleep hygiene and, when necessary, psychological support to address not only insomnia but also the psychological conditions it may be indicating or exacerbating. Treating insomnia is, therefore, a fundamental step in promoting balanced mental health and preventing more serious disorders. Insomnia, often seen merely as a difficulty in sleeping, can actually trigger a series of intense emotions. Initially, irritability is one of the first emotional manifestations that insomniacs experience. Sleep deprivation impairs the brain's ability to process emotions properly, resulting in heightened sensitivity to minor inconveniences. This happens because lack of sleep directly affects the prefrontal cortex, the brain region responsible for emotional control, making people more susceptible to disproportionate emotional reactions. As insomnia persists, the initial state of irritability can quickly evolve into feelings of stress. With the brain struggling to maintain normalcy in the face of lack of rest, everyday situations can start to seem insurmountable. The accumulation of worries, such as the impact of insomnia on professional and personal life, can add an extra layer of tension, causing the person to feel constantly pressured and anxious. As stress intensifies, it can easily morph into anger. This transition occurs because prolonged sleep deprivation further degrades the brain's ability to regulate emotions. Sleep-deprived individuals are more likely to misinterpret others' intentions, perceiving hostility or threat where none exists, which can trigger inappropriate and intense anger responses. This emotional roller coaster doesn't occur in a vacuum. Outbursts of anger and constant irritability can have devastating effects on interpersonal relationships and professional performance. Colleagues, friends, and family may find themselves in the line of fire of these volatile emotions, further complicating the situation. Mismanaged anger can lead to conflicts, misunderstandings, and even social isolation, increasing feelings of frustration and helplessness. Recognizing that insomnia is at the root of these emotional challenges is crucial for seeking effective help. Treatments such as cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, CBTI, sleep hygiene practices, and in some cases, medication, can help restore healthy sleep patterns and improve emotional management. Additionally, relaxation and mindfulness practices can be introduced to help calm the mind and body, promoting a more balanced approach to anger and irritability management. The vicious cycle of insomnia and self-doubt often intertwines, leading to a spiral of mental and emotional despair. When sleep is disrupted or inadequate, the brain cannot perform its processing and recovery functions, crucial for balanced mental health. Chronic lack of sleep can lead to a state of heightened vigilance and exacerbated anxiety. During sleepless nights, negative thoughts and worries tend to become more prevalent and intense. This mental hyperactivation not only hinders the onset of sleep, but also fuels a constant state of doubt about one's ability to cope with daily demands. Furthermore, sleep deprivation can drastically affect mood and self-perception. Individuals suffering from chronic insomnia often experience a decrease in self-esteem and self-confidence. They may begin to question their abilities and worth, as fatigue prevents them from performing at their best. This ongoing questioning can lead to self-doubt, where the individual feels unable to solve not only sleep-related issues but also other daily problems, creating a sense of powerlessness and frustration. This interaction between insomnia and self-doubt creates a cycle that's difficult to break. Concerns about lack of sleep and its consequences during the day further fuel anxiety at bedtime. This continuous state of alertness can make the process of falling asleep even more challenging, reinforcing insomnia. The brain, already deprived of rest, becomes increasingly overwhelmed, and the ability to cope with stressors diminishes, exacerbating negative perceptions about life and abilities. To break free from this vicious cycle, it's crucial to address both insomnia and self-doubt with concrete strategies. Treatments for insomnia, such as cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, for insomnia, can help restructure disturbing thoughts about sleep. Additionally, sleep hygiene practices, such as establishing a regular sleep-wake routine and limiting exposure to blue light before bedtime, can improve sleep quality. Counseling or therapy can also be beneficial in addressing self-esteem and self-doubt issues, helping the individual develop a more positive view of themselves and their capabilities. Tired of tossing and turning in bed, counting the hours until dawn? The time has come to transform your nights. With the ebook, Sleep Well, Practical Solutions to Overcome Insomnia. In it, you will discover effective techniques based on reliable research. Click the link in the first pinned comment to get your copy and start changing the way you sleep today. In conclusion, it's essential to recognize that insomnia and self-doubt can perpetuate each other, but they can also be interrupted with appropriate interventions. By taking proactive steps to improve sleep quality and addressing the psychological aspects linked to self-doubt, it's possible to restore a healthier cycle of thoughts and behaviors, promoting overall mental health and well-being. Insomnia isn't just an occasional bad night's sleep, but a persistent difficulty in falling asleep or staying asleep that significantly affects daytime functionality. When sleep, which serves to restore and revitalize the brain and body, is repeatedly interrupted, the first major impact is observed in cognition. Inadequate sleep prevents the brain from performing vital processes like memory consolidation and toxin clearance, leading to a decrease in attention, working memory, and other executive functions. This cognitive deterioration makes individuals less capable of problem-solving and decision-making, directly and negatively impacting productivity. In addition to cognitive consequences, insomnia deeply affects emotional state and motivation. Lack of sleep is strongly linked to increased irritability, stress, and the prevalence of mood disorders such as depression and anxiety. These altered emotional states can sabotage a person's motivation, making simple tasks seem burdensome and less appealing. Lack of motivation and increased pessimism can create a vicious cycle that further diminishes productivity and hinders the achievement of personal and professional success. In the workplace, the consequences of insomnia are often observed in the form of lower quality and quantity of work. Constant fatigue prevents workers from focusing and maintaining efficiency throughout the day. This not only hampers individual performance, but can also affect the dynamics of an entire team or organization. Additionally, insomnia is associated with a higher number of errors and even accidents, which can be particularly detrimental in professions requiring constant precision and mindfulness. From an economic standpoint, insomnia generates significant costs for both individuals and societies. For individuals, the impact may be felt in lost career opportunities and decreased earning capacity. For businesses, costs come in the form of lost workdays, reduced productivity, and higher employee turnover. It's estimated that the direct and indirect costs associated with insomnia could amount to billions in developed economies, highlighting the importance of addressing this issue not only for individual health, but also for overall economic health. Recognizing insomnia as a serious problem and seeking effective solutions is crucial for regaining productivity and personal success. This may include measures such as sleep hygiene, behavioral therapies, and, in some cases, medical intervention. Furthermore, the adoption of wellness policies by companies, encouraging flexible schedules and rest periods, can help mitigate the effects of insomnia. Investing in the treatment and prevention of insomnia is investing in the human potential for success and innovation. Insomnia is often seen merely as a sleep problem, but its roots and repercussions extend well beyond restless nights. Many people don't realize that insomnia isn't just the result of physical issues. It also has deep connections with a person's mental state. Stress, anxiety, and depression are some of the most common psychological factors that can lead to insomnia. These mental conditions act as catalysts that disrupt natural sleep patterns, creating a vicious cycle where lack of sleep further exacerbates mental health issues. The physical pain associated with insomnia can also be intense. Prolonged sleep deprivation leads to a range of physical problems such as headaches, muscle tension, and an overall sense of discomfort. The body, deprived of necessary rest, struggles to function during the day. This results in a decreased immune response, increased pain sensitivity, and a heightened risk of inflammatory conditions. Interestingly, while the mind struggles to shut down, the body feels the direct impact of this internal battle, manifesting pain as a signal that something is wrong. On the other hand, treating insomnia often requires more than just addressing the physical symptoms. It's essential to address the underlying mental issues. Cognitive behavioral therapies are widely used to help individuals modify thoughts and behaviors that impair sleep. These therapies may include relaxation techniques, cognitive restructuring to combat negative thoughts, and sleep hygiene practices that establish an environment and routine conducive to rest. Furthermore, education about sleep hygiene plays a crucial role in managing insomnia. Avoiding caffeine before bedtime, maintaining a comfortable and quiet sleep environment, and establishing a regular sleep-wake schedule are all fundamental steps. These adjustments, though simple, are vital for breaking the cycle of insomnia and improving both mental and physical health. Therefore, understanding insomnia requires a holistic approach that considers both the mental causes and physical consequences. Treating only the physical symptoms of insomnia without addressing the psychological issues is a common mistake that can hinder a long-term solution. Recognizing and treating the mental roots of insomnia is crucial for restoring a healthy sleep pattern and, consequently, improving overall quality of life. Insomnia is often seen as a mere disruption of sleep, but its influence extends far beyond the hours wasted in bed. This disorder, which affects a significant proportion of the world's population, is like an unwelcome guest that not only interrupts our literal dreams, but also infiltrates our aspirations and life plans. During the night, while the world around rests, those suffering from insomnia struggle with their own thoughts and concerns, a vicious cycle that affects the body and mind in deeply negative ways. The sleep deprivation caused by insomnia isn't just a matter of feeling tired. It has ramifications that can seriously compromise both physical and mental health. Inadequate sleep is associated with a variety of health problems, including heart disease, diabetes, and a decrease in immune function. Additionally, concentration, memory, and decision-making processes are severely impaired. Thus, insomnia not only steals hours of sleep, but also deteriorates quality of life during the day. On an emotional and psychological level, insomnia can be even more devastating. Lack of sleep is intrinsically linked to increased anxiety, depression, and irritability. These conditions can create a mental environment where it's extremely difficult for individuals to pursue their aspirations. When the brain is constantly deprived of necessary rest, the ability to maintain focus on long-term goals and sustain motivation can be drastically reduced. For those with big dreams and ambitious goals, insomnia can be a particularly cruel obstacle. It may seem that every lost night of sleep is a step backward in their efforts to achieve their objectives. Moreover, the constant struggle with insomnia can lead to a sense of hopelessness and the perception that their dreams are becoming increasingly unattainable. This disruption not only impacts their current achievements, but can also alter the trajectory of their lives. In addition to the immediate impacts on physical and mental well-being, chronic insomnia has been associated with a range of long-term health conditions. Studies indicate a correlation between inadequate sleep and an increased risk of diseases such as hypertension, type 2 diabetes, and various heart conditions. Sleep deprivation negatively affects metabolism, hormonal regulation, and the immune system, leaving the body in a constant state of alertness, which can exacerbate inflammation and trigger other health problems. Insomnia, often underestimated in its consequences, is a sleep disorder that significantly affects the quality of life of millions of people worldwide. This invisible enemy is not just an occasional bad night's sleep, but a persistent pattern of difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep, even when there's an opportunity to rest. The repercussions go beyond morning fatigue, infiltrating various facets of individuals' physical and mental health. Memory problems, concentration difficulties, and irritability are just the tip of the iceberg, triggering a vicious cycle that can deteriorate the ability to function daily. The psychological impact of insomnia is also profound. Chronic sleep deprivation is strongly linked to the development or worsening of psychiatric disorders such as depression and anxiety. Insomnia can create a cycle of stress and worry about sleep, where anxiety at bedtime, anticipating difficulty sleeping, only worsens the problem. This state of continuous anxiety can undermine self-esteem and confidence, leading to increasing social isolation and a decrease in quality of life. Recognition and early intervention are crucial to prevent insomnia from becoming chronic and more difficult to treat. Educating people about the importance of sleep and the dangers of insomnia is essential for improving overall public health. Thus, by addressing insomnia not just as a lost night's sleep, but as a serious medical condition, we can begin to dismantle this invisible enemy that compromises our quality of life so greatly. Insomnia is often surrounded by a social stigma that further complicates the pursuit of proper treatment and understanding. Many perceive the inability to sleep simply as a bad habit or lack of discipline, minimizing the severity of the disorder and the struggles that those affected face night after night. This misconception can lead to judgments and insensitive comments, causing many to feel isolated and reluctant to seek help. The stigma surrounding insomnia creates an additional barrier, as people tend to hide their condition for fear of being misunderstood or discredited. In addition to social stigma, there is an intrinsic challenge in dealing with insomnia, which is the invisibility of the problem. Unlike many medical conditions, insomnia does not present physically obvious symptoms to others, making the individual's experience lonely and often misunderstood. This invisibility can cause friends, family, and even healthcare professionals to underestimate the devastating impact that lack of sleep can have on a person's mental and physical health. The result is a scenario where many suffer in silence, without adequate support. The impact of insomnia on mental health is profound, and the associated stigma can exacerbate existing conditions such as depression and anxiety. Individuals with insomnia often feel trapped in a vicious cycle where worry and stress about the inability to sleep worsen the problem. This connection between insomnia and mental health is critical, but but stigma can prevent people from openly discussing their sleep problems with healthcare professionals, missing out on opportunities for treatments that could address both sleep and related psychological issues. To break the stigma associated with insomnia, a collective effort is needed to educate the public about the nature and seriousness of this sleep disorder. Awareness campaigns can help change public perception, showing that insomnia is a legitimate medical condition with clear biological and psychological foundations. Healthcare professionals need to be trained to recognize insomnia as a potential warning sign for other health conditions and to treat the sleep disorder with the seriousness it deserves. Insomnia is often seen merely as a sleep disturbance, but its impact goes far beyond the hours lost to rest. This disorder can be an unrecognized cause of unhappiness and unrealized potential in many individuals. Without adequate sleep, the body and mind lack the opportunity to recover from daily demands, leading to a cycle of fatigue that affects mood, motivation, and cognitive ability. Firstly, sleep deprivation caused by insomnia can lead to a constant state of irritability and dissatisfaction. When the body doesn't rest enough, there's an imbalance in neurotransmitters that regulate mood, such as serotonin and dopamine. This can result in feelings of sadness, anxiety, and even depression, making everyday challenges harder to manage. Thus, emotional well-being is compromised, making happiness seem like a distant goal. Furthermore, lack of sleep directly affects cognitive function and concentration ability. Insomnia can make it difficult to focus on tasks, make decisions, and think creatively. This negatively impacts performance at work or in studies, limiting the ability to achieve goals and progress in one's career. Individuals struggling with insomnia often perceive a decline in their professional performance and a stagnation in the development of new skills, which can lead to a sense of unrealized potential. Insomnia also undermines physical health, which can be an additional driver of unhappiness. Inadequate sleep is associated with a variety of health problems, such as obesity, heart disease, diabetes, and a weakened immune system. These conditions not only decrease quality of life, but can also increase long-term health-related stress and anxiety, further fueling the cycle of insomnia and unhappiness. Insomnia, often seen merely as a hindrance, can actually serve as a catalyst for significant changes in our lives. While initially a source of stress and discomfort, the struggle against insomnia can reveal profound opportunities for reassessing and transforming our habits and perspectives. This sleep disorder, by challenging our routine and well-being, prompts introspection that can lead to a better understanding of our physical and emotional needs. Firstly, confronting insomnia can teach us about the importance of balance and health. Difficulties falling or staying asleep encourage us to investigate underlying causes, whether related to stress, anxiety, or unhealthy lifestyle habits. This process of inquiry and reflection can motivate a review of our lifestyle, such as adjusting diet, increasing physical activity, or adopting relaxation techniques, fostering a holistic transformation in pursuit of overall well-being. Furthermore, insomnia can underscore the need to reconsider our mental health. Interrupted sleep often reflects emotional or psychological tensions that may be overlooked. Recognizing this can be the necessary push to seek professional help or develop better coping strategies. By directly addressing these issues, we can embark on a journey of self-discovery and emotional healing, crucial elements for a more fulfilling and satisfying life. In a broader sense, insomnia can also serve as a wake-up call to the need for change in our interactions and environments. It forces us to consider the impact of our choices, from the setup of our bedroom to the interpersonal relationships that may be contributing to our stress. The need to create a conducive sleep environment can lead us to improve not only our physical spaces but also our personal and professional relationships, redefining priorities and establishing healthier boundaries. Finally, the journey to overcome insomnia can inspire us to help others facing similar difficulties. By sharing our experiences and lessons learned, we can build a community of support and understanding. This sense of purpose not only enriches our own lives, but can also transform the lives of others, spreading a wave of positive change beyond the individual. Thus, insomnia, despite being a challenging experience, carries the potential to be a powerful catalyst for transformation. By embracing this opportunity to reassess and change, we can turn what may seem like a negative problem into a springboard for a better and more fulfilled life.